Welcome back to Deep Story World. Today's story is about a man who lost his freedom, but never lost his hope. A man who spent 27 years in prison and still came out as a symbol of peace, forgiveness, and leadership. Nelson Mandela. Before the world knew his name, Mandela was born in a small village in South Africa. Life was simple, but the country he lived in was deeply divided. At that time, a system called apartheid controlled everything. A system that separated people based on their race. Black people were treated unfairly, denied basic rights, and forced to live a life of inequality. As Mandela grew older, he couldn't ignore this injustice. He studied law and became a lawyer, using his knowledge to fight for the rights of his people. But speaking against the system was dangerous. The government saw him as a threat. Still, Mandela didn't stay silent. He joined the struggle against apartheid and became one of its strongest voices. At first, his fight was peaceful, but as oppression increased, the situation became more intense. The government eventually arrested him, accusing him of crimes against the state. In 1964, Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life in prison. Imagine that moment. A man fighting for freedom, being locked away, possibly forever. Mandela was sent to Robben Island, a harsh prison where conditions were extremely tough. He was forced to do hard labor, breaking stones under the hot sun. He lived in a small cell, cut off from the world, separated from his family, and treated like he didn't matter. But here's what makes his story powerful. Prison did not break him. Instead, it made him stronger. For 27 years, Mandela stayed patient. He kept his mind strong. He believed that one day justice would come. While many would have filled their hearts with anger and hatred, Mandela chose something different. He chose forgiveness. Outside the prison, the world began to change. People across the globe raised their voices for his release. Nelson Mandela became a symbol of resistance even while he was behind bars. Finally, in 1990, after 27 long years, he was released. The world watched as he walked free, not with anger, not with revenge, but with dignity and calmness. And then came something even more unbelievable. Just a few years later, in 1994, Nelson Mandela became the president of South Africa, the very country that once imprisoned him. But what he did next shocked the world. Instead of taking revenge, Mandela chose unity. He worked to bring black and white people together. He forgave those who had wronged him. He focused on building a nation based on equality and peace. That's what made him truly great. Not just his struggle, but his heart. Nelson Mandela proved that true power is not in revenge, but in forgiveness. Not in hatred, but in unity. Today, he is remembered as one of the greatest leaders in history, a man who sacrificed his freedom so that millions could live with dignity. And the lesson from his story is powerful. No matter how dark life gets, no matter how long the struggle, if you stay strong, patient, and true to your values, you can change the world. And this is the story of Nelson Mandela. If you want, I can also make